Hello, dear friends. I'm Balaji, your English teacher. Hope you all are fine, doing well. My dear learners, today we are going to discuss very important topic in grammar. It's very basic but very essential topic. One must know the basic things in grammar, and this is basic but very important topic. The topic is verbs. Verb is very important part of a sentence. Without verb, no sentence is possible. Yes, verb is one of the three components, elements of a sentence: subject, verb plus object. Object is not compulsory part of a sentence. Sometimes there may be object, sometimes there may not be object. Transitive verbs require object, and intransitive verbs don't require object, or they don't take object, right? Sometimes subject is not there in the sentence. Even sometimes subject is missing in especially in imperative sentences, in orders, right? But without verb, a meaningful sentence is not possible. So verb is also called as a predicate. Sentence is divided into two parts: subject and predicate. Predicate means that part of sentence which contains verb. Verb, it is action word. Again, there are two types of verbs: helping verbs and main verbs. So this was just introduction. This was the introduction about verb. Verb is a very important part of a sentence. It is an integral part of a sentence. It is an inseparable part of sentence. Without subject, sentence is possible. Without object, sentence is possible. But without verb, sentence is not possible. Meaningful sentence is not possible. Yes, sometimes there are some exclamatory sentences without verb. Exclamatory sentences are possible without verb, but a meaningful sentence is not possible without verb. Verb is very important part of sentence. The entire grammar revolves around the verb, right? So keeping this in mind, I have prepared one PPT, and it is about verb. So let us start the topic. Verb is broadly divided into two parts. Verb is broadly divided into two parts, that is auxiliary verbs and main verbs. It is auxiliary verbs and main verbs. Auxiliary verbs are again divided into two parts: primary auxiliary verbs and modal auxiliary verbs. Modal auxiliary verbs are again subdivided into two parts: semi-modals and modals. Main verbs are divided into two parts: transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. And transitive verbs are again subdivided into two parts: monotransitive and ditransitive. So these are the types, main types and subtypes of verbs. Broadly, verbs are broadly divided into two parts: helping verbs or auxiliary verbs and main verbs. Main verbs are again divided into two parts: transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs are those verbs which take object with them, and intransitive verbs are those verbs which do not take object with them, right? And again, transitive verbs are divided into two parts: monotransitive and ditransitive. Ditransitive verbs are those verbs which take more than one object, direct object and indirect object. And monotransitive verbs are those verbs which take only one object, single object, and not more than one object. Yes, I will discuss and explain this topic in detail in another video. I will make a separate video on this this transitive, intransitive, modal auxiliary, and all that. But today my focus is on primary auxiliary verbs. In primary auxiliary verbs, there are only three verbs, that is to have, to do, and to be. In the entire English language, these three verbs play double role. No other verb except these three plays double role or dual role, main verb as well as helping verb. These three verbs, to have, to do, and to be, they play dual role, main verb as well as helping verb. And many a time what happened, learners, students don't know how to make correct use, appropriate use of these primary auxiliary verbs. Basically, there is a difference between primary auxiliary verbs and modal auxiliary verbs. What is the difference? The difference is there in their function and also in their forms. Main verbs have three forms, whereas modal auxiliary verbs don't have three forms. They have maximum two forms, present form and past form. But main verbs have three forms: simple present, past and past participle, and present participle. So in this way, only main verbs have these three forms, and we can use them in all tenses, in all 12 types of tenses: simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous, right? uh, Tenses are divided into three parts: present tense, past tense, and future tense. And each tense is again subdivided into four subtypes. And in this way, in total, we have 12 types of tenses, right? So any main verb can be studied in these 12 types of 12 types of tenses. But modal verbs are studied only in present and past. They cannot be studied or they cannot be used in all these 12 types of tenses. So let us discuss and let us learn what exactly are primary auxiliary verbs and how they are used in in English language in sentences. Look at this example. Look at this example here. They are players. They are players in this sentence. They is subject. Are is what? Are is main verb, and players is complement. Players is complement. So in this example, are is not helping verb, but it is main verb. And in the second example, the same word are is what it is helping verb, and playing is main verb. They is subject, that is doer of action. Are is helping verb, playing is main verb, cricket is object. Yes. So in this way, we can see how the same verb plays double role. When there is only one verb in a sentence, it is main verb, and when there are more than one verb in a sentence, one has to be helping verb, and the second one will be main verb. But remember, in any sentence, there is only one main verb, and not more than one main verbs. We cannot use two main verbs in a sentence at a time. But we can use two main verbs in two different clauses, but not in the same clause or in the same sentence. So here my focus is on how the same verb plays dual role, helping verb as well as main verb. Let us see. The colors shown here, the red color indicates helping verb, and the black color means main verb. It represents main verb, and red color represents helping verb. So here is a table, a short table, and you can see here how these primary auxiliary verbs can be used, both main verbs as well as helping verbs. I have given one example here. You can see how this main verb, intransitive main verb go is there. This intransitive main verb go, its second form is went, and its third form is gone, and fourth form, that is present participle, is going. So in this way, as go is the main verb, as go is the main verb, to have, to do, to be are also main verbs. Here we are going to study them as main verbs and also as helping verbs. We are going to study them, how they function, how they are used, both helping verb as well as main verbs. And remember, when there is only one verb in a sentence, it is main verb, because only main verb can come alone in a sentence, and no helping verb comes alone in a sentence. Helping verb comes to help, support to the main verb. If there is no main verb, then no helping verb is used or can be used in a sentence, or it doesn't come there in a sentence. But main verb can come alone in a sentence, and that too in simple present and simple past. We use main verb, first form of the main verb in present tense, and the second form of main verb in simple past tense. Except these two tenses, in remaining all types of sentences and tenses, we use some or other helping verb. We use base form of the verb and second form of the verb only in two tenses. That is, the first form of the verb or base form of the main verb is used only in simple present tense, and the second form of verb is used only in simple past tense, and nowhere else it is used. Okay, so this basic information needs to be kept in the mind first. Correct? As go, as we have seen, go, second form of go is went, and the third form is gone, and present participle is going. You can also call them. You can also it can also be said as base form of past tense, past participle, and present participle. In the same way, to have is also to have or has. Has goes with third person singular. He has, it has, etc., etc. But it is again first form of the first form or the base form, and its second form is had, that is past tense, and its the third form or past participle is had. Okay, and present participle is having. Then we have to do or does. This is first form or base form as a main verb, and its second form is did, that is past tense, and its third form is done as past participle, and doing is present participle as a main verb. And the last one is to be. To be itself is a main verb, and it has a, and also it has three sub forms, that is am, is, are. You can use one of these four, either am, is, or be as a main verb. When one of these four comes alone in a sentence, it functions as a main verb. Okay, and when it is followed by any other main verb, that time it functions as a helping verb. We are going to see that in detail after some time. Next subtype of to be is past tense. That is, and again in past tense we have two subtypes, two forms. They are was and were. Was and were are the forms of to be in past tense, and am is, are the present form of to be in present tense. And third form of to be as a main verb is been, and being is the present participle of to be as a main verb. So in this way, this to do, to have, and to be can be studied as a main verb, because many times students don't know the correct forms of this to do, to have, and to be. And again, only the second form and third form of this, only the second form and the first form of this to do, to have, and to be function as a helping verb and main verb. They function both as a helping verb and main verb, and only the first and second form, and not the third form and fourth form, that is present participle. The past participle and present participle, they function only as a main verb. They don't function as helping verb. But first form, that is base form, first form, and second form, only first form and second form function both helping verb and main verb. Hope you understood. Now let us go to the next point. We will first we will discuss to have in detail with suitable examples, and then we will move to do, and then last to be. Look at this to have. As I already told you that to have plays double role, helping verb as well as main verb. When it comes alone in a sentence, it functions as a main verb, and when it is accompanied by or when it is followed by any other main verb, that time it functions as a helping verb. How it functions both as a main verb and helping verb, let us see. In the first example, here given here, you can see I have a car. I have a car. In this example, I have car. In this example, I is subject and have is what? Have is main verb and not as a helping verb, because there is only one verb. And what did I tell you? When there is only one verb in a sentence, it is main verb. And in the second sentence, see, in the second sentence, I go to school. Again, there is only one verb, and there is no other verb. I go to school regularly. I go to school. In this example, to go is a main verb. As have is the main verb in the first sentence. Have is a main verb. Why it is main verb? Because there is no other verb, right? and it is in simple present tense because we use the first form of the main verb like go. I go to school, they go to school. This example is in simple present tense. In the same way, I have a car. This is in simple present tense, and have is main verb and not helping verb. In the second example, I go to school. In this example, go is a main verb and not helping verb. I used go, or I have given the example using go to understand how easily and better. Yes, better way. See the next example. I have gone to school. In this example, have is helping verb and gone is main verb. Why have is helping verb? Because there is another main verb after have, right? In the same way, in the next example, I have had a car. In this example, have is what? Have is helping verb, and had is main verb. What is the third form of main verb? What is the third form of to have? This is had, and this is in present perfect tense. I have had a car. This is in present perfect tense, and according to the structure, we use what? In present perfect tense, we use subject plus have has plus V3. This is the structure. This is the rule of the present perfect tense. So this sentence, I have had a car. This is in present perfect tense because it follows the structure of present perfect tense. The first have is helping verb, and the following verb, that is had in black color here, it is main verb function. It is a main verb and not helping verb. This is the third form of our past participle of to have as a main verb. Can you see here? Yes. See the next example. I had gone to school. This is in past perfect tense. And what is the structure of past perfect? Subject plus had plus V3 plus remaining part of the sentence. Object is not compulsory. Sometimes there may be object, sometimes there may not be object. Uh, Look at the next example. I will have gone to school. This is also what? It is in past perfect. This is in future perfect tense. Yes. Will have this is the helping verb. This is the helping verb part, and gone is main verb. Look at the next and last example. I will have had a car. Will and have are helping verbs, and had is main verb, and it is functioning as a main verb, as a past participle form, or as a third form of the uh, what to have. Hope you understood. Yes. In this way, to have plays double role when it is used singularly, or when it is only one verb in a sentence, it is main verb. And when it is accompanied by, or when it is followed by any other main verb in a sentence, that time it functions as a helping verb, and the following verb will be main verb. Yes. So in this way, in this slide, we have discussed and learned how to have plays double role, helping verb as well as main verb. In the next slide, we are going to discuss and learn how to do plays double role, how to do plays dual role, the same way, helping verb as well as main verb. Yes, my dear learners, look at the primary auxiliary verb to do or does. This is first form, or this is base form. Did is second form, or past tense, and done is past participle, and doing is present participle. As I already told you that only the first and second form play dual role, main verb as well as helping verb, and third form or past participle or present participle, they don't play a dual role. They play only single role as a main verb. Look at the example. Students do their homework regularly. How many verbs are in this example? There are there any are there two verbs? No, there is only one verb. Students is subject, do is main verb, their homework is object, regularly is adverb of frequency. So in this way, and what is the rule? What did I tell you? When there is only one verb in a sentence, it is always main verb. So here do is main verb. It is functioning as a main verb. But look at the second example. Look at the second example. He does his work carefully. Again, in this example, how many verbs are? Yes, there we see only one verb, that is does. He is subject, does is main verb, his work is object, carefully is adverb of manner. So in this way, in these two examples, in the first and second example, there is only one verb. and not more than one verb. Hence, it is functioning as a main verb and not as a helping verb. Now, see the next example, third example. In third example, do students do or complete their homework regularly? Now, how many verbs are in this example, in this sentence? We see more than one verb. The first one is do, students is subject, again do or complete. This is main verb. Main verb follows helping verb. Yes, helping verb doesn't follow main verb, but main verb follows helping verb. Their homework is object, regularly is adverb of manner. So in this way, as per the rule, according to the rule, the first do, this do is functioning as a helping verb, and the do after the subject or the verb complete, it is functioning as a main verb. Hope you understood how do plays double role. In the first example, do is what? It is main verb, because there is only one verb and it is functioning as a main verb. But in the third example, do is do is functioning as what? Helping verb. The first do is functioning as helping verb and the second do. And if you don't want to use the same verb, you can also use another verb like complete, finish, right? But the first do will always work as a helping verb when it is followed by any other main verb in the same sentence. Now look at the fourth example. Does he do his work carefully? This is interrogative sentence, and in this sentence, how many verbs are there? There are two verbs, does and do. Does is used here according to the rule, because third person singular subject always takes does and not do. Do goes with the plural, first person pronoun, second person pronoun only, and with third person pronouns we use does in interrogative sentences. Yes, and also in simple present tense. Look at this sentence. Does he do his work carefully, or does he complete his work carefully? The first does is what? It is working as a helping verb, and do is what? It is main verb. He is subject, do is main verb, his work is object, and carefully is adverb of manner. Hope you understood how do and does play double role or dual role, helping verb as well as main verb. Now look at the next example. They have done their job well. In this sentence, this is in present perfect tense. They is subject, have is helping verb, and done is main verb. Their job is object, well is adverb of manner. So as I already told you that the third form and fourth form, that is past participle and present participle, they play only single role as a main verb and they don't play dual role. Yes, the same thing happens here. This done is functioning as what? This done is functioning as main verb and not as a helping verb. Now look at the next example. He has done his work on time. He has done his work on time. In this example, he is subject, has his helping verb, done is main verb, his work on time. His work is object on time, that is adverb of time. Next example is they. They is subject. You can use they or he, no problem. In simple past, we use only did with all types of pronouns, first person, second person, and third person. Yes, we have option only in simple present tense, but in past tense we have no option. Did goes with every pronoun, means all type of pronoun, all type of three pronouns, that is first person, second person, and third person. They or he did their work on time. Here did is functioning as a what? This here did is functioning as what? Main verb. It is functioning as main verb and not as a helping verb, because in that sentence there is only one verb. How many verbs are there in that sentence? They or he did their work on time. In this sentence there is only one verb, and that is did. Yes, how many verbs are there? There is only one verb, and that is did, and it is functioning as a main verb. Look at the next example. Did they or he complete or do their work on time? In this example again, how many verbs are there? There are more than one verbs. Did is helping verb, they or he is subject, and complete or do functioning as a main verb. Look at the next example. Next example is what? They are doing their work carefully. They is subject, are is helping verb, and doing is main verb. Their work is object, carefully is adverb of manner. Adverb of manner. we are doing our homework. We are doing our homework. Here in this example, we subject, are is helping verb, doing is main verb, our homework is object. Yes, and as I told you that done and doing, they function only as a main verb. The same thing happens here. Uh, the same thing you can see here, because they are not red in color, because the all the words, highlighted words in black color, they function or they indicate as a main verb. They represent as a main verb. They are main verbs, and all the words which are highlighted in red color, they are helping verbs. See the next second last example. Please be quiet. Here, this be is functioning as a main verb because there is no other verb after the word be. Correct? So it is functioning as a main verb and not as a helping verb. But if you look at the next last example, she will be doing her homework at 8 p.m. today. In this example, she is subject, will be is helping verb, and doing is main verb. Her homework at 8 p.m. That is the adverb of time. So look at the word be. As I already told you that whether you use be or the forms of to be in the as a first form of the to be, they function as a main verb. Yes, when there is no other verb in a sentence, and when you use was or were without any verb after them, they also function as a main verb. And when they are followed by any other verb, that time they function as a helping verb. Hope students you understood and it is clear. Now let us proceed to the next slide, last slide, and the last primary auxiliary verb, that is to be. In this slide, to be, as I told you, to be has three forms. To be has three present forms, including be four forms. You can use be itself or its three forms, am, is, are, as a base form, and it has two forms in past tense, was and were, and third form is been as a main verb, and the present participle is being. Yes, as I already told you that only the first two forms, first form and second form function double role, dual role, and past participle and present participle. That is third form and fourth form, they don't play double role. They play only single role, that of a main verb. Yes, so our focus will be on this only. Let us see in the first example. If you look at the first example in this slide, I am a student. What is the sentence? I am a student. In this example, how many verbs are there? There is only one verb, that is I am. And as I told you, what is the rule? When there is only one verb, it is main verb. And when there are two verbs or three verbs, the first two are helping verb and the last one is main verb. If there are three verbs in a sentence, and when there are two verbs in a sentence, the first one is helping verb and the last one or the second one is the main verb. So in this example, I am a student. As there is only one verb, I am I am is the only verb in that sentence. It is functioning as a main verb. In the second example, see, I am writing a letter. In this example, I is subject, I am is helping verb, and writing is main verb. A letter is object. Why? The same word I am is functioning main verb in the first example, and the same word I am is functioning as a helping verb in the second example. Why? Because I am is followed by another main verb, another verb, and it is main verb. Writing is a main verb. Correct? Yes, and a letter is object. Hope you understood how I am plays double role in a sentence. Yes. In the first sentence, I is subject, I am is main verb, a student is complement. It is not object, but it is complement. Yes. And in the second example, I is subject, I am is helping verb, writing is main verb, a letter is object. Now see the third example. He is a farmer. Again, in this example, he is subject, is his main verb, a farmer is complement. Why is his main verb? Because we don't see any other main verb there. Because there is only one verb in a sentence. And what is the rule? When there is only one verb in a sentence, it is main verb. And it can be studied in all types of tenses, 12 types of tenses as a main verb. Look at the next example, fourth example. He is reading a book. He is subject, is his helping verb, reading is main verb, a book is object. The same word is his main verb in the first in the earlier example, and the same word is his helping verb in the fourth example, but the same word is main verb in the earlier example. Yes, he is a farmer. Now look at the next example. They are players. In this example, as there is no other verb except are, as are is the only verb, it is functioning as a main verb. But in the next example, they are working in the field. In this example, there are two verbs, are and working, and are is helping verb and working is main verb according to the rule. He was a teacher. In this example, again, let us study it in past tense. He was a teacher. His subject was his main verb. A teacher is complement, because there is only one verb in a sentence, and hence it is main verb. But in the next example, he was driving a car. In this example, was is helping verb and driving is main verb. A car is object, he is subject. Yes, because here we see two verbs, isn't it? And the first one is helping verb and the second one is main verb. They were players. In this example, there is only one verb and it is were and it is main verb. They is subject, were is main verb, players is complement. But in the next example, they were, in the example, they were playing cricket. In this example, were will be what? It will be helping verb, playing will be main verb. Yes, I have been a teacher of English subject for past 20 years. See here, I is subject, have is helping verb, been is main verb. What is the third form of to be? Been. Can you see here? Yes, according to the rule, as a main verb, the third form of the to be is been. So here, been is main verb and not helping verb. Yes, they have been national players for 10 years, and this is in present perfect tense. This example is in which tense? In present perfect tense. See the next example, they have been declared as national players. So in this example, the same word been is helping verb. They have been, have is helping verb, been is helping verb, but declared is main verb, because in this example, there are three verbs. And what did I tell you? When there are two verbs, the first one is helping verb and the second one will be main verb. And when there are three verbs, the first two will be helping verbs and the last one will be main verb. Yes. Hope you understood how have and been are helping verb and declared is main verb. But the same word been is main verb in the earlier example, earlier sentence. Yes, as a national players. See the next example. He had been on medical leave for 6 months. In this example, again, this is in past perfect. His subject, had is helping verb and been is main verb as a third form of the to be as a main verb. Past participle form of to be as a main verb. He had been on medical leave for 6 months. So this is in past perfect tense. And see the last example, she will have been here for 10 years next month. This is in future perfect tense. This sentence is in future perfect tense. She is subject, will is helping verb, have is also helping verb, and been is main verb as a third form or as a past form, as a past participle of to be as a main verb. Yes, she will have been here for 10 years next month. So in this way, my dear learners, we have discussed how to do, to be, and to be, to do, and to have played double role, main verbs as well as helping verbs. Hope you understood them, and the basic concept of verb, and again, primary auxiliary verb is clear.